Oh, keep it coming. Oh! You're just trying to make me relive that uncomfortable feeling. I bought this jack a number of years ago. I think it was like 369 bucks. Harbor Freight over the weekend. It was on sale, and looking at it, it looks literally identical. I mean, it's the same thing. It really is. It's like half the price. This is a CRX that we built a few years ago. Really nice Tahitian green pearl. We put a B18 C5 in here and a hydraulic transmission. We have to, oh, that was my recording equipment. Change the traction bars because the traction bars are a little bit noisy. You have to check out the Avant Road car cover. My favorite cover. I like it so much. I have one for the S2000 and my CRX. Get the LHT coupon code LHT2025 to take $25 off. AvantRoadProCovers.com. The traction bars have a Heim joint on each end. And this is kind of like a metal on metal, and over the time they get kind of rattly. So we're going to try and come up with a system where we can replace that and put a bushing on there. But traction bars are nice. Everything else is looking good in there. These on the Honda traction bars are solid at this end. It doesn't have adjustable there. This is just so you can adjust it in the middle. I'm almost wondering if we don't put it the way Honda do it and make that fixed at that end and make just this end adjustable. This is 2 ears on there, like this. That was going through this joint right here. So this is a metal on metal joint. I think they have a little bit of cushion in there, but very, very little. And that's where some of the noise comes from. There's no cushion in there. And then over time, this gets noisy and transmits through the car. This is the diameter of the tube that we need for our bushing, so we need to cut that to shape and then we can clean this up. So we made these are urethane bushings, which are pretty strong. There's not a whole lot of twist, so we're not worried about squeaking. We're just looking at the cushion. You can see how much room there is between that center and this outside. So it's going to take some of that metal on metal feel away, but it's going to allow it to move and it'll have a little bit of deflection to it. You've never seen one of these balls apart. This is what it looks like. This is a universal joint, as you see. We cut this section off so we can weld it onto our piece, but they're actually a very clever thing. If you're into manufacturing, if you've ever done anything like this, that's actually a really complex thing that they have built right there. But there you go. It's got a little bit of cushion in there, but this rattling comes from it, so that's why we're eliminating this part. We're just keeping the thread so we can attach it to the parts that we're making. This end, we're going to make the bar solid, just as the factory one would be, and then we're going to measure that angle to make sure it is exactly in position for the cross member. Tahitian Green Pearl, this one's called. Definitely a nice car. Let me grab a light and let me show you what we have going on here. These are our favorite lights, by the way. This isn't a plug for Harbor Freight. However, I wish they would give us some free stuff because I really like their stuff. I used to make fun of it for years, and now I find myself using it more and more for very common reasons. The stuff is good and it's easy to replace if something goes wrong. Talking of which, these lights, George is ready for a new one. This one is 1.5 years old and he uses it every single day. We set up this little charging station right here, right next to the VTEC sign. These are absolute, I'm not even going to tell you. In fact, I'm going to give George a brand new one. This is his right here. And like I always tell you, we only sell what we use and we use what we sell. So it's kind of hard to tell. There's like a couple of LEDs in the middle there. So there you go, there's a new light for George. If you're curious, I supply all the tools here. I don't have one of those operations where you have a tool bill and you have to keep paying the tool guy. I supply everything. Look how nice everything still looks in here. I think we built this 4 years ago. We had the valve cover matched to the body color, which is Tahitian Green Pearl. Kind of see on that angle. Nice thing about that color, it kind of flip-flops. In the bright sun, it's got a real nice green look to it. As the sun goes down, it kind of gets a blue look. You can kind of see there as I get into the shadows. Very, very cool color. So we did a hydraulic conversion on this, just like we did in that white car. We put the master cylinder inside and attached it to the pedal assembly. There is the reservoir. Upgraded brake master cylinder. This is the AC kit by Hasport. It allows you to run the factory air compressor, which, as you see, it's the really odd looking compressor. On ours, what we did is we modified the lines and used the Integra bracket on compressor. But with the AC already being fully operational, it was a more economical way to do it, was to purchase that bracket. That way we knew the air conditioning would work. So look how cool this looks. This is so nostalgic to me. You remember the good old days where you take a camera and you take a picture of it, then you send it off and you wait for the film to come back and see if it actually has a picture. That's how I did all of those back in the day. Look at this, so much history here. I've shown this book so many videos in the past. This was Bert's CRX. This was Bert's B16 that we did. We bought a complete swap from Japan. Bert's car, Esther's car, my Tahitian green pearl. These were the B18, B16s that I had lined up. I used to buy them. Water pump, timing belt, radiator hoses, basically freshen them up, have them ready to go, and install them. I had almost like a production line. This is going back to the 90s, guys. What was you doing in 1998, 1997? What was you doing? I was putting B motors in CRXs. Meanwhile, everybody thinks all we do is S2000s. Another CRX, GSR, another one. This was a famous car. It used to be on Nopi all the time. It was on a lot of the magazines. We did his car too. Look at this. We did tons and tons of them. That was before we came up with the, this is when I used to call it limitless Honda tuning. It went from limitless Honda tuning to LHT performance, and then we came up with a logo soon after that. Look at this. ZC supercharger with liquid injection from a company called Aquamist. That was before Jackson offered water injection. This was from a rally company in England that I was experimenting with before I came up with the intercooler. And then, of course, I slipped on the wet porcelain and banged my head and came up with the LHT intercooler. Brand new Civic Si. This came here brand new. It had 9 miles on it. Customer sent it from the dealership and said, I'll buy the car. I want it a little bit faster, but I don't want to, he called it a fart can. I don't want a fart can exhaust. I just want it a little bit faster. We put a Jackson Racing supercharger on it and a cold air intake and left it completely stock. Customer loved it. I did tons and tons and tons of these. Before you saw the S2000s that we did on the channel, this was my thing right here. CRXs, Civics, Integras. I did these every single day. So the jack works really well. Of course it would. I mean, you know, how bad can a jack be? But it's like tools. If your tool goes bad, it's only really as good as the warranty. I dealt with Snap-on and Matco tool truck guy back in the day. I once broke a 10mm socket, and then I broke a Torx bit. And he came back 2 separate occasions, and I could tell by the second one he had a major attitude because I didn't go in the truck and buy another bunch of tools. I just said, hey, I just want this one fixed and I don't need anything else. And since then, I got rid of the tool truck guy. So let's see what we got. Let me explain how this whole thing is working. Let's see. This is a stainless end. It's solid, just like the CRX factory. It's got 2 bolts to hold that on there. And this end is essentially our cushion. With it being urethane, it's gonna have a lot less deflection than the factory rubber, but it's not metal on metal, so it should soften the whole feel of it. These bars have a right-hand thread on one end and a left-hand thread on the other. The beauty of that is when it comes to aligning, you break that lock nut loose right there, and this one here, and you twist the bar. And as you twist the bar, one screws out one way, one screws out the other. And obviously when you turn it the other way, it screws in. That way you can change this by simply turning the bar. It's actually very clever, and it makes it much easier on your alignment. The traction bars, not only does it stop the wheel basically flexing back and forth, which will cause wheel hop, you can also put a little bit more caster in this, which makes it a little bit smoother to ride, a little bit more predictable, especially The faster the car is when it's a short wheelbase. They tend to get a little darty. So if you can put a bit more caster in there, it smooths them out. Yeah, I double checked it this morning. I bounced it just to see, because the arms are always close to the oil pan on CRXs.
Yeah, they don't look like, they don't move a lot when you bounce it.
No, they don't. It's just optical illusion. It looks like if you hit a bump, it's going to be on the oil pan, but the direction it goes, it should be clear. Look at that, modern technology rear view camera.
Yeah.
Did the guys have the sprinklers going again this morning? The big massive.
They did, but it's not now.
Okay.
So if you look, the road's wet, so I think they're doing it before we get here.
Well, speak for yourself. It was like a river this morning.
Well, so they're doing it when you get here.
Yeah, when I get here, they go, okay, let's get as much water on that road as we can. And they don't turn them on halfway. They turn them on absolutely wide up. The new guys turning them on full.
Really?
Yeah,
But the whole road's wet, so.
yeah, it was like a river down here. Glad I came to work in my truck and not the S2000. I mean, the mounts are so smooth in this. One of the reasons we're doing rubber mounts. Meanwhile, you take off in second gear and the whole car goes.
That's my fault.
This is that area that occasionally, if people miss our shop and come down here, they get lost. There's like just hundreds of businesses you didn't know existed back here.
Yeah, even though it says dead end, I mean, you can get out to any of the other streets.
Yeah, there is so many businesses back here, it's unbelievable. They probably say the same thing about us when they come down our street. They go, wow, you guys are back here?
Yeah.
That's pretty tolerable, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's look for some more businesses.
Yeah, let's go see if that lake is alive. So I used to take my son here with an RC boat and we started fishing. And at first we were catching just little, what we used to call tiddlers. It says no parking.
I said it looked different, but there's a tree missing there.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Basically
Yeah.
a massive tree. You know, I'm going to get out and give everybody a quick tour.
I'll stay in the car so that in case someone comes by, I need to move it.
Yeah, you say, well, I'm not parking, I'm pausing. Oh. That's something on CRXs, you don't want to close the door like that. So this, for a while, was alligators in here, and I think that's what ate all the fish. But we used to come here, and if you look down here, you'd throw a bread in here, you'd get all kinds of fish coming to the surface, and then that brought more fish. As you say, I just saw something disappear down there. You see that? Well, anyway, long story. I'll see if I can link it. We had a small RC boat, and we kept getting big fish, drag it under and drag it into the lake, and I'd be out there with a fishing pole trying to get it back. See if he starts pulling. Oh, I think you got one. Bring it back.
Got one.
Oh,
Whoa,
oh,
it's a big one.
oh, he still got it. Keep it coming.
Daddy.
Keep coming.
No,
Oh, keep it coming.
Daddy.
Oh, it's flipped. Let me get the rod. I got him a bigger boat. I built the boat, put a fishing pole on the back. And we ended up catching a really big bass out here. Sebastian on the controls now. He's fishing.
I think the blood is gone.
Nope.
Let's take a look.
Go that way. Go that way.
I'm gonna bring it back. I think the blood is gone.
All right.
Just give it a second.
Oh!
All right, so we finally caught him. This is the boat, and this is the fish.
Do you know what? Before we got the fish in, it
That
tipped
is-
over.
Yeah, anyway. There's your lake. Look how good this thing looks. That is such a good looking car, isn't it? So far it's smooth, right?
Yeah.
There's no clicking or clunking. Ongoing, more businesses to find.
Yeah.
That was the only one that we've had so far, and I think that was the shock bottoming out.
Yeah.
We did build this thing with the engine as high up in the engine bay as we could and kept the header tucked up, because these series, obviously CRXs, they hang out the bottom. Wow, look at this.
That's not a speed bump.
No.
That's a don't drive by.
Wow. If I feel like I lived, if I worked at this end, I'd take a lot of speed bumps up.
It's one of those things. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. That's about all I gotta say about that.
Yeah.
So he's getting out.
Yeah, he is.
Where's he going?
I don't know, but we're stuck until he's done doing it.
What are they doing there?
Big boxes in blue bins.
Okay. Yeah, I guess they haven't got their sign up yet.
No, that's all it is though.
Alright, he forgot his lunch.
We're almost at Chris's Street, if you hear that.
Dog walker. Multiple dog discount.
I haven't been down here in a while. I forget how many stop signs are on this road.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking the same thing. There's the Hoarder house up here on the left, right?
I don't know if it's a hoarder or not, but if you look, like right past where we can turn onto it.
There used to be an Altima that was like...
Yeah, there's like
hidden.
a 2020 Altima grass going around it. It's like, you know, someone has a bank loan on that still.
We know someone was probably looking for that car. Alright, railroad truck's going up. I'm going to pan over to the Altima with the grass going around. It's still there.
Right here. That house.
Yeah. Yep, it's there.
There's a railroad track.
Railroad tracks. Wow.
That couldn't have been any smoother.
No. This corner here is when I took me out for a ride.
Yeah.
And I thought he was going straight and he yucked it in that corner and I thought we were going to flip the car. It was literally the first time meeting him and he took that corner.
We're gonna hit the railroad track again at 40 miles an hour.
That's smooth as can be. That's pretty darn impressive. You just trying to make me relive that uncomfortable feeling. That was so scary the second time. On this side of the car, it's way worse.
That's cool.
Yeah. I bet he could go around the corner like that. Check it. Yeah, I think that shop just ran out of room. I just Takiko white and ground controls. I think this could benefit from some actual
Modern suspension.
some modern suspension, yeah, some that's got shorter shock bodies. And there's no witness marks there. It looks like he has hit something at one point in the oil pan. There's nothing over here. I mean, it has to go a long way to hit that transmission. And the angle that it goes through, I think it would clear. I said that suspension has to go a long way. All right, I think we're good. I think we completed what he wanted.